We're driving to the Los Angeles airport, and my rideshare driver, Farouk, is making all the small talk that drivers often do. We're not really connecting, which is fine. We're just trying to get to LAX, but I can tell he's trying to find a thing that we can bond over. He asks, "Are you married?" I say, "Yes." "Do you have kids?" "No." "When will you have kids?" It's something women of a certain age hear a lot. It's never if, it's always when. And before I can even think about it, I tell Farouk, "Well, actually, my husband and I just found out that I'm pregnant." Farouk's whole demeanor changes. He's acting like there's a celebrity in his car. And he says, "Oh my gosh, there's a pregnant woman in my car. This is so exciting." And as he's talking, I'm thinking, why did I just tell Farouk I'm pregnant? The only people that know are my doctor and my husband. I haven't even told my family yet. I'm flying home to New Jersey and planning to tell my parents tomorrow on Mother's Day. And now I've told Farouk first. He's thrilled, and I wish I could be too, but I've been pregnant before the year prior, and it didn't end well. We never got to have that moment where you share the happy news with people. I told my husband on his birthday. A few days later, we found out we'd be losing it. It was ectopic and not developing correctly anyway. My doctor gave me a pill to help end it, and we moved on. So now we're pregnant again, but it doesn't feel truly happy. It just feels like I know how pregnancy ends for me, and it's not happy news. But I want to believe I can be happy because Farouk is like really freaking pumped. He tells me he's a grandfather now, but he lived in India when his children were little, and he talks about how they didn't have a bassinet when his kids were babies. He would hold on to one of their arms or legs while they were sleeping next to one another, so he knew they didn't wander off or roll over. And he's sharing these little pieces of his history to connect with me about what it will be like to be a parent. Then he starts giving me the unsolicited advice that a lot of parents receive, like, make sure you breastfeed as long as you can, it's really important. And I just tell him, I appreciate it, Farouk, because I don't really want to talk about my boobs with my rideshare driver. We're bonding over this moment together, and it's unexpected on the way to LAX. And as we get closer to the airport, I start to not feel great. It's not morning sickness, just my standard stress-induced IBS. As we get closer to the airport, I know I'm not going to make it to my terminal. So I tell him, just take me to Terminal 1. I'll go to the bathroom and get to my terminal after. I really don't feel well. I know he's probably thinking I'm sick because I'm pregnant, and I guess it doesn't matter either way. But he says, "No, we're in this together. Go in that terminal, go to the bathroom. I'll be here. I'll be here." And I'm like, "Farouk, I'll just take my stuff." And he says, "No, I'll be here." So I take my purse, I leave all of my luggage in his vehicle, and I run in. I'm convinced I'll come back outside, and Farouk and my suitcase will be long gone. They do not let you stay at the curb for more than 10 seconds at LAX. But by some miracle, he's still there, arguing with a cop, refusing to leave. I get back in his car, and he looks at me in the rearview mirror as if to say, "You okay?" I buckle up, and all I can say is, "Farouk, thank you." And he says, "Of course, happy Mother's Day." And then he drives me to my terminal, helps me with my bags, and wishes me well on my travels and in my life, and we, never see each other again. 5-star rating. The next day, I set up a video call with my husband in LA and my parents who I'm visiting in New Jersey, and we tell them I'm pregnant. So I practiced with Farouk, and that made it a little easier. A few days later, on the last day of my visit, I wake up in a pool of blood, and I already know it's ending. I'm losing another pregnancy. I know what comes next. The appointments, the waiting, the slow unraveling of something that's already over. And I know deep down, I will never do this again. I want my life back, a life I loved before I started trying to add children to it. It's enough. and it's complete without having kids. I just want to feel like myself again. My mom washes the sheets. My parents are quiet. They offer to let me stay longer, but I just want to go home, and their home isn't my home anymore. I spend the day mindlessly watching reruns on their couch until they drive me to the airport. I fly home, bleeding, and my husband and I wait for weeks for the miscarriage to fully pass, and eventually it does. I'm just me again, only now I know what it feels like to try so hard for a life you thought you'd have and decide it's ultimately best to walk away. To have that occasional pang of, what if, even though I know I made the right choice to stop pursuing parenthood. I've never told anyone about Farouk before, not even my husband. It felt strange to share a pregnancy story when there wasn't a baby or a happy ending to show for it, but even though we'll never see each other again and he doesn't know how life turned out for me, there is still a happiness in that little moment when someone showed up for me during a really difficult chapter in my life. A happy ending doesn't have to mean I became a mom. It can mean someone was there for me when I really needed it, to show me kindness, to say, we're in this together, I'll be here, and to really mean it. Thank you.